Hey everybody, welcome back to You Talk. We listen.
Your go-to.
That's right, for deep dives on everything.
That's Scott.
That's got people talking.
Yeah.
We are coming at you live from St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
And we couldn't do it without the amazing support of OtisWho Network. So
Absolutely.
get the Katt Williams, the king of comedic chaos
Oh, hell.
himself,
Katt Williams.
has just made a move that's got Hollywood buzzing.
Oh, wow.
We're talking Tyler Perry level power move here, folks.
Big time.
Williams just bought a former military base
Whoa.
with plans to turn it into a full-fledged studio.
Now, this might sound familiar because
Yeah.
Tyler Perry actually did the same thing a few years back.
Exactly.
Transforming Fort McPherson in Atlanta into the massive Tyler Perry studios.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where this deep dive takes us.
Right.
We're looking at an article from Atlanta Black Star that breaks down Williams' purchase and what it could mean for the entertainment industry.
So the article doesn't give us the exact location or the final price tag, but rumor has it that Williams snagged Fort McClellan in Anniston, Alabama.
Wow.
This place is massive.
Huge.
We're talking 3 million square feet,
Good gracious.
with 10 barracks, multiple buildings, and a whopping 90 acres of undeveloped land.
Wow.
All this for a cool $1.5 million, which honestly sounds like a steal.
What a deal.
The purchase has been confirmed by Williams' publicist Amy Sisoyev, and even the seller's broker, Connie Alexander from Lux Group, chimed in calling Williams' plans a visionary endeavor.
I like that description a lot.
Me too.
It really gets to the heart of what makes this move so fascinating. It's not just about acquiring property. It's about Williams potentially stepping into a role similar to Tyler Perry's,
I think so.
creating a space for Black stories and Black ownership in an industry that hasn't always been welcoming.
Okay, so let's rewind a bit and give some context for those who might not be totally up to speed on Tyler Perry's studio. He purchased Fort McPherson back in 2015, and it's now a 330-acre behemoth that not only houses all of his productions, but also serves as a rental space for other major films and shows.
It's massive.
It is.
And that's a crucial point.
Was that?
Tyler Perry Studios isn't just a vanity project.
No.
It's a major player in the industry, pumping resources back into the community and creating opportunities that might not have existed otherwise.
So it's like he single-handedly flipped the script on Hollywood.
That's a great way to put it.
And now Katt Williams is hinting at doing something similar.
Really?
In a recent GQ interview, he even said, "It's just not fair to put all that pressure on Tyler Perry. He can only do so much," suggesting that he might be ready to share that burden and create another powerhouse for Black creatives.
That's interesting.
But here's where things get even more interesting.
Oh.
Katt Williams hasn't always been Perry's biggest fan.
Is that right?
In fact, during his appearance on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay podcast,
I love that show.
he didn't hold back on his critiques of both Perry and comedian Ricky Smiley.
Oh my.
He even made comments about a dress clause in Perry's contracts and their acting styles, which stirred up a bit of controversy online.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That interview definitely adds another layer to this whole studio purchase.
Right.
You can't help but wonder how those past comments, especially the dress clause remark, might play into the narrative now.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's this added sense of rivalry,
Really?
or at the very least, a very different approach to filmmaking that Williams might be bringing to the table.
And of course, social media exploded when the news about Williams' studio hit.
I bet.
You had people joking about Williams becoming Perry's nemesis, bringing the dress money to the table, all while creating a space that might challenge the status quo in Hollywood.
Wow.
One tweet I saw said, "Tyler Perry just gained Katt Williams as a movie studio owner arc nemesis, and this was the news I needed today." Perfectly capturing the kind of energy this announcement has generated.
I love it. I love it. It's not just about the jokes, though.
Oh, no.
There's a genuine sense of anticipation around what Williams' studio could mean for diversity and representation in Hollywood.
Yeah, like, are people just projecting their hopes
Yeah.
onto this studio, hoping it'll be a space where stories that might have been overlooked get a chance to shine?
Exactly.
I saw another tweet that said, "I feel like Katt will actually let fresh new Black act talent tell their stories here as well, instead of being the only one making movies here."
Interesting.
It's fascinating how this one purchase
Yeah.
has sparked such a wide-ranging conversation about what's missing in the industry and what Williams might do differently.
And speaking of doing things differently,
Yeah.
remember when 50 Cent bought property in Shreveport, Louisiana, and started his own G-Unit film and TV studios?
Oh, yeah.
The city even declared a 50-cent day in his honor. So there's definitely a precedent for these kinds of entrepreneurial moves shaking things up in Hollywood.
So these investments aren't just about personal gain.
No.
They're about building legacies and creating opportunities for others.
Exactly. And that brings us to a really important question.
Okay.
Will Williams' studio truly be a platform for diverse voices, or will it just become another Katt Williams production powerhouse?
Well, and I think that's a valid question,
It is.
especially considering the criticisms that have been leveled at Tyler Perry's approach to filmmaking.
Okay.
Some argue that his work, while commercially successful in providing opportunities for Black actors, often falls back on certain tropes and doesn't always represent the full spectrum of Black experiences.
Right. Like
With Lonely Love, her
Yeah.
comments
Yeah.
about Perry's Netflix film Divorce in the Black.
Yep.
She praised him for employing Black actors, but wished he'd collaborated with more experienced Black writers and directors. That raises a really good question.
Yeah.
Will Williams take a more collaborative approach,
Right.
opening his studio to a wider range of creative perspectives?
So it's like he's standing at a crossroads.
He is. And the direction he chooses will have a huge impact, not just on his career, but on the landscape of Hollywood itself.
And the really exciting part is we get to witness this unfold in real time. The choices he makes with this studio, the stories he chooses to tell, the talent he collaborates with, all of it will be a fascinating case study in the evolving dynamics of power and representation in the entertainment industry.
You know, thinking about it, the social media reactions, the comparisons to Tyler Perry, even Williams' own past comments, all of it points to this underlying desire for something different.
Oh, for sure.
Something fresh.
Absolutely. People are hungry for stories that haven't been told, perspectives that haven't been heard.
Yeah.
And with this studio, Katt Williams has the potential to tap into that hunger and create something truly groundbreaking.
It's almost like he's holding a mirror up to Hollywood, forcing us to examine what we value, what we celebrate, and what we still need to change.
It really is, and that kind of introspection, that willingness to challenge the status quo is exactly what makes this a story worth following. A story that could have ripple effects far beyond the walls of that former military base.
It's about more than just movies.
Yes.
It's about who gets to tell the stories, whose voices are amplified, and ultimately who shapes the narratives that define our culture.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This really does feel like we're on the cusp of something big here.
Yeah.
Katt Williams has always been a force to be reckoned with
Oh, yeah.
in the world of comedy.
Absolutely.
But with his studio,
Right.
he's stepping into a whole new arena.
I agree. It's like he's transitioning from court jester to king, taking control of the narrative and creating a space where his vision can reign supreme.
And that vision, from what we can gather, seems to be centered on shaking things up, on challenging the established norms of Hollywood.
Definitely remember, this is the guy who once said, "I'm not afraid to be the joke as long as I'm the one telling it."
Oh, yeah.
That kind of fearless, unapologetic approach is bound to make waves in an industry that often plays it safe.
Exactly. He's not afraid to push boundaries, to make people uncomfortable, to spark those difficult conversations.
Right.
And with this studio, he has the platform to amplify those conversations on a much larger scale.
Yeah, think about the potential here.
It's huge.
He could create films that tackle social issues head-on, that showcase diverse voices and perspectives, that challenge stereotypes and push the boundaries of storytelling.
Yeah, it's almost like he's building a bridge between the world of comedy
Yeah.
and the world of social commentary, using humor as a tool to shed light on important issues and inspire change.
For sure. And let's not forget the economic impact.
Oh, right.
By creating jobs and opportunities for Black creatives, he's not just changing the stories we see on screen, but also empowering a whole community behind the scenes.
This isn't just about entertainment.
No.
It's about economic empowerment, about representation, about shifting the balance of power in an industry that has historically excluded certain voices.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the biggest takeaway is this Katt Williams studio is more than just a business venture. It's a statement, a declaration of intent, a potential catalyst for change.
Couldn't agree more. It's a reminder that even in an industry as seemingly monolithic as Hollywood, there's always room for disruption, for innovation, for fresh perspectives.
And whether you're a fan of his comedy or not, you can't deny the significance of this move.
Yeah.
It's a sign that the times are changing, that new voices are demanding to be heard, and that the old guard better be ready to make some room.
I think they better be.
So to all our listeners out there, keep your eyes peeled. This is just the beginning of what promises to be a fascinating journey. And we, for one, can't wait to see what unfolds.
I'm excited to see what he does.
So what do you think Katt Williams' studio will bring to Hollywood? Hit us up on our socials at UTalkWillListenSTL and let us know.
We want to hear from you.
And that's a wrap on this episode of You Talk, We Listen. A huge shout out to our amazing sponsor, OtisWho Network, for making these deep dives possible. And to all of you listening in St. Louis and beyond, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into a topic that's got us all buzzing.
See you next week.
Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep those conversations flowing. Peace out.